So, last session, you all proceeded down under the well, where you proceeded to find a rift torn in space and a large writhing tentacle speaking in deep speech.
Mhm.
It writhed about, and you found fleshless rats paying a strange cultish sacrifice to it. Uh, you proceeded to engage in combat with the thing, during which time Zyden teetered oh so uncomfortably close with the edge of darkness. But through a combined effort, uh, most assuredly aided by the flaming sphere from Micah, uh, you proceeded to rend that tentacle and char it to ash. At which point, the rift sealed itself closed, and you managed to gather the broken cask of starlight wood. And through some careful efforts, you managed to carry both the cask and the unconscious form of Zyden back to the ship. Whereupon you were presented with a forward cabin on the lower deck. Because being the away team, you were bequeathed your own space.
Mm, that's a funny word. Sorry.
I can't ever hear the word bequeath without immediately thinking of Homestar Runner and the very brief scene where Strong Bad is just clubbing the King of Town over the head with a scepter, going, "I bequeath thee! I bequeath thee! I bequeath thee!"
Well, anyway,
That's right. You're gonna get Homestar Runner references in 2019.
Yeah, it's almost the end of the century. We gotta do it.
you
Decade.
proceeded to collapse into your bunks and left a tied up Zyden lying with sunglasses on in the middle of the floor.
Because we did breakfast weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah, you-
didn't do breakfast at Tiffany's.
No,
You missed the part where we went back into the mansion first, and you had the butler give me sunglasses,
Mm-hmm.
Weekend at Bernie's.
which I'm assuming look pretty cool, though I'm keeping them.
Hey, look at it this way, man. Our democracy's dying, and soon enough, the entire country's gonna have to do a weekend at Bernie's.
It's true.
God, we can only hope it's a weekend at Bernie's. Sorry,
It's true.
But who are the living guys?
that would be the American people, hopefully.
Fair
Hopefully.
enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, so Zyden woke up, and while you were passed out, who knows what Zyden did?
Exactly.
Upon which I assume, Zyden, you crawled into bed?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Okay. Now, given that it took it took you at least an hour to fiddle about on the island and get back onto the ship, and then a bit of walking around and whatnot, and then Zyden, you continued to be unconscious for some time still. For Micah and Addie, or for Fira, excuse me,
It's okay.
about halfway through your long rest, commotion is heard outside. And Zyden, this is but a few moments after you have crawled into your own bunk.
Okay.
The sound of several excited voices come charging down, and a moment later, the door to your cabin bursts in, and several crew members all storm into your space,
Okay.
guns and swords drawn, and they are looking around in a bit of a panic.
What have we benefited from this rest? Do we have our spells back? Do we what's
You don't have
what-
anything back currently.
Oh, I thought it was a long rest.
No, it got interrupted like halfway through, we said.
Oh.
Yeah, I treated it as a long rest already.
Yeah.
We'll get the hell well,
I mean, admittedly, the rest was longer for me.
No, actually, for you, you still only have 1 hit point.
But, really? Okay. No, I literally thought it was a long. You said it was a long rest at the end of last session, so
Yeah, you did.
I refreshed everything.
That's okay. Well, if we end up in combat, we'll address it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello. Hi, guys. What did I do? What do you think I did?
Can we? Is this important? Can we get some rest?
You do see in amongst them, Callie steps forward, a long tubed rifle where all along the shaft is a long dark blue and onyx blade. Proceeds to sort of lift hers up and look around the cabin. Well, it's not what we thought you did. Y'all haven't seen anything strange, have you?
I mean, other than the fact that we've been shunted into the astral sea by a space boat and then the floating manor and the horrible skinless rats.
Nothing
unusual. Everything's been completely above board and expected.
Yes, okay. I meant unusual for the astral sea, not so much unusual for a bunch of primates.
Okay.
To be fair, I've never been in the astral sea before, so...
Yeah. What constitutes unusual for the astral sea?
You didn't happen to see any slithering, skulking figures in this cabin, did you?
No.
Not on the backs of my eyelids, no.
Did they come from on deck or something? Are you chasing one?
No. We have sensors that can detect large entities from the Dark Quarter, and well, they all kind of went a bit crazy a couple of minutes ago, and seemed to tell us that they were coming from below deck.
Forgive me, I've just woken from being unconscious and made my way to bed. I thought I was dreaming. You're telling me that was real?
What was real?
The dark cloaked figure with tentacle fingers.
You notice as you say that, every single person immediately, guns are back up, they're scanning around the room.
No, okay. Hold up. Like I just said, I thought it was a fucking dream. A hallucination of being knocked out by the goddamn rift tentacle underneath the mansion.
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought it was a dream, but apparently I spoke to whatever it was and it left.
And you what now?
It
left?
The reason I thought it was a hallucination is when I looked at its hands and they were wriggling like tentacles and it was missing a finger. You know, tentacles like the thing we just fucking fought.
Right, I'm familiar with the concept of a tentacle.
It was missing one finger. Just one?
It looked like it was burnt off.
Well, fuck.
I feel like there's a lot here that I just should have a point of reference for, and I don't.
I mean,
So-
I'm kind of making the inference that you kind of burned off that finger from the creepy tentacle finger dude, Micah.
Which is
Yes.
why I thought it was a
wait.
hallucination. It was too related.
Wait. You think that the guy that you talk to in your dream,
Mhm.
you think is like the guy in control of that tentacle that I melted?
Or, I don't know, an
I mean, it makes sense.
aspect of the darkness wherever that tentacle came from?
What a nerd.
I.
Not you, it.
Oh.
Okay.
You're fine. That thing's a dork.
How so?
Well,
Let's just leave it at that and move
he
on.
got chumped.
Well,
Burned his hand off, apparently. Or at least a chunk of it.
but if it's only a finger, then
Yeah, sucks to be that guy.
but what if there's 9 more fingers? Or however
It-
many.
Probably more than that. If this was even
Great,
fucking
okay,
true.
Addie,
Mm-hmm.
you proceed to hear at the back of your mind
Mm-hmm.
the voice of Pa say, 9 is more than enough. I'll have my hands on all of you soon enough.
Fantastic.
So, Callie just kind of looks at you, Zyden. So, you talked to him, did you?
There's...
A bit more like he talked to me.
What did he say?
But
I'm with the girl.
look, you do realize I thought this was a dream, a hallucination, right?
What did he
That my
say?
memory might be a bit foggy. It was
What did the spooky nightmare man tell you? Come on.
Out of character here. I'm actually kind of forgetting what he said. However, Zyden would remember.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. He appeared to you and pointed out to you that there was only one person at Chroma's death. And that it happens to be the guy that you talk to a lot. And that maybe there were other answers available to you.
Okay. Right, so it was just about that stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. Got it.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, he was trying to convince me that something in my past wasn't quite as it seemed.
Typical.
Yeah. It's a bit of a personal bit of past, but it had to do with the death of a good friend.
That's rough there, bud.
Fira kind of
Yeah.
starts and just kind of looks more fidgety than normal for reference. Just,
And
typical.
surprisingly enough, he didn't mention anything that happened today. Other than that finger missing, I didn't really make any connection other than that.
Well, there was a connection.
So he showed up to just shoot the shit about the past.
There's always an ulterior motive. It's not.
I think he has a connection to my powers. In a way.
Your
What?
You all have seen what I can do.
Is it? Wait. Is this hideous shadow hallucination monster your fucking warlock patron?
No.
You see all of the pirate guns and swords immediately turn in your direction.
No. He's
He
the
starts going, no.
antithesis.
And it's just like sits down back on the bed and it's just like, holy shit.
No. He's not my patron. from what I can tell, he's the antithesis to my patron.
He's the what now?
He's the darkness to my light.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I was reading this correctly, remember, still a bit loopy from being knocked the fuck out,
Yeah, well.
may have been a kind of avatar of... I gesture out towards the spreading darkness. Of that's eating the stars, which I want to stop.
Do you think if you eat stars, it gives you gas?
God damn it, Micah. That was pretty good.
Vera's just laughing because she's nervous and doesn't know what the fuck else to do.
You know, it doesn't exactly work that those that take deeply from us can be stranger to us. He can call it an antithesis all he wants, but what do you really know about where he comes from? Callie kind of considers you for a moment, Zyden, and then taps on the other guys' shoulders, and they all kind of put their guns up. You go ahead and give a shout the next time you see him, yeah?
Will
I'd
do.
rather we not see him. No.
Agreed, Vera. I would much rather not see him again. Especially since my first reaction to seeing this guy was to summon my sword. It didn't come. I couldn't use my powers around it.
That's probably not good.
Fan fucking tastic. That's what that is. Oh, God.
No reason to keep that bit a secret because that's fucking terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me.
I mean, don't look at me. I just hit stuff.
I know, that's why we're not looking at you, because we know you're good for hitting stuff no matter what.
You do a lot more than just hit stuff, Micah. Trust me on that. But, yeah, right now I think I'd like to just rest, perhaps.
Yeah, if there's not like an urgent, we need to do something right now, I'd like to be asleep.
Hi. The signal seemed to go away rather quick, so,
Oh, and Callie.
Yes?
It's good to know that you have those alarms. Not as good to know that they go off after the fact, but very good that you have them.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, how would the alarms go off before a problem happens?
No, the intended purpose would be during.
By what you just described, I'd rather say they did.
Oh, was it really that short?
Huh?
Like I said,
You climbed into the bed like minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Zyden, in his state, has no concept of how long that conversation took place.
Fair enough. So the rest of the pirates back out of the room, and they shut the door, and you are allowed to return to rest.
Good.
Woo!
And now we rest. Night.
Micah and Fira, you come to right around lunchtime. Zyden, you're still very much asleep for several more hours because you cannot get a sound rest while you are unconscious from wounds.
That's fair.
May as well get some food.
Yeah, food sounds good. I'm a fan. I am an enjoyer of food.
Let's go. Kind of just leads the way out.
So you make your way past the sleeping hammock rows that you saw on your way into the cabin,
Mm-hmm.
and you make your way back up the stairs. And because of how you went about it the last time, you're fairly aware of where the galley is at the first level of the superstructure at the back of the ship.
Mhm.
You swing open the doors. You see a couple of guys that were catching sleep below decks as you walked by, and
Mhm.
a small handful are going about doing shiply duties, rerunning lines and tying them off. One guy's up giving a good scrub at the sails. One guy is up in the nest keeping a weathered eye. By and large, though, you don't see quite that many people until you swing open the doors to the galley. And
Okay.
what you see inside is actually a solid, minus the 5 or so guys you saw walking about, the other 20 members of the crew are all crammed into the bench tables in this galley.
Sounds right.
You see roving past in the back window is the big burly tiefling that had been part of your accosting efforts before, is running back and forth with an apron on and responding to the bellowing of another voice, who
Okay.
then proceeds to step around, and you see that it is this broad-shouldered yak folk.
Okay.
Hoy! There's another 3 plates to get out there. Get a move on! By the ridiculous hat on his head and the large white coat, it stands to reason that this must be the ship's cook.
Okay.
Hey, Cookman, what are you? What's on the menu today?
As you approach the window, he kind of leans an elbow down and gives you an up and down. Aha! You must be the new away crew that the captain's been telling me about.
Oh, we've been talked about.
Oh, it's
Yes.
good things, I assure you, lass. Good things. Oh, you asked about what was on the menu. Yes, of course. Well, we managed to fish up some star sturgeon yesterday. And so I have been getting a grill on with those, and our larder's doing what it can at the moment. I have crisped you up some right good fingerlings. I hope that you do enjoy. And he turns around, and you actually see roasting on these spits a solid, 14-foot monstrosity of a fish. With a series of ridged spines coming out of its back, and you actually see
That. Oh, sorry. Continue. My bad.
the tail section, where it should turn into sort of an elongated fin, actually spirals around itself and clearly has some joint articulation that it would be able to sort of gyrate around itself and create a more 360 set of motion.
Interesting.
That's the fingerling.
No, this is the sturgeon.
Oh, I was gonna say I'd hate to see the full eel.
No, fingerling's a tater.
Oh.
And he proceeds to carve off a large fillet of the sturgeon for each of you, and then goes over to a large basket and scoops you out a handful of fried fingerling potatoes.
Ooh,
And he slides both across to you.
delightful. Thank you, sir.
Ah, anytime. Name's Cookie. I'll
That's some real nominative determinism.
Cookie the
well,
cook.
I mean, before the captain picked me up, the name was and he decided that he was not going to be about, so.
Oh, now here I was going to assume that directly translated to cookie.
Valid, I guess. Thank you.
Thanks.
Adam just walks away.
Hey, Magnus! You best not be getting into that ale. We're only serving coffee with this meal. And he sunders off to go find the tiefling. You actually see that at the long table at the far right-hand side of the room, the captain and Callie and Jules and like two other of the crewmen are all kind of seated at the table, and Callie sees you and she actually waves you over.
Okay. Seems like a good plan. Head over and sit down with them.
Oh, loves, I got to admit, I didn't know how to feel about you when we, well, as I'm sure your fellow there is going to have a snide remark to make, when we kidnapped you.
Fair enough.
No, it's accurate. You kidnapped us.
Like I said. But...
Not quite snide when it's true, but...
That's not snide. It's just correct. Do you guys... this is a boat. Is there alcohol in this boat?
We make a point to rather hold it for the dinner meal just because we rather were planning a restock. We are running in shallower waters, as the case may be.
I hate this boat.
As soon as we resupply, I assure you, it might be the first thing on your shopping list. It's also the same for about half of the rest of the crew. Don't you worry.
I would advise it move up that shopping list for the rest of the crew, then.
I don't know what's higher than first.
I said the rest of the crew.
Oh, well, some of them make a point to actually want, like, food and tools and the like, so,
As valid as those concerns are as well, those are more readily accessible than calming down this guy.
Callie just kind of takes a moment and eyes Micah a little bit.
Look, I'm just saying, if I'm going to do this shit sober, I'm going to start eating my own mushrooms, and I can't be held accountable for what happens after that.
Oh, good lord.
Yes. We'll try to make a priority of it.
That would be for the best.
In better news, the cask you brought back was perfect.
Oh?
We've been able to seed it. I don't know what all you know about Starlight Wood.
Not much at all.
Literally its name.
Well, Starlight Wood can be crafted and cut into planks and other useful things, but with the right encouragement, no matter what form you cut it into, it continues to work as somewhat of a living organism.
Neat.
And so we have been able to seed it. You brought us quite a bit of stock, and it is taking rather admirably to the rest of the hull. I suspect it'll take the rest of the day to get it properly seeded, but we're not as immediately taking on astral energy.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yes, not flooding and sinking into the nether layers of the sea are, generally speaking, a good thing.
No, it's very good. I approve of this development.
And I think we also have some more good news.
Yeah?
She kind of looks to the captain, who just gives her a polite nod. So while you were down there retrieving what we needed, we sent a scouting party in our longboat, and we think we spotted another island about a day's journey from here. And as far as reports are, they saw crystalline formations on it.
All right, and that's good.
Well, yes. You may have noticed when we were downstairs committing that jump,
Mm.
our reserves are, well, let's be quite honest, they're kaput.
Hmm.
So without the get up and go, we're not going to be sailing anywhere very quickly. But if there are crystals accumulating just over the way, we may be able to get ourselves back into at least somewhat of a working order.
That's helpful.
We rather thought so. So you give us a day, and I believe that we can hoist anchor and be on our way.
Yeah, that's... Where, again, remind me exactly, where will we be heading? Have we figured out our course yet?
Well, we head to the island first to get fuel, and
Yeah.
we can solve it from there.
Okay.
And, even more bright side, while we're just listing out the good, we haven't seen, any more of the captain just sort of clears his throat and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the point is the seas have been clear for the moment.
Thank goodness.
Well, it's a good thing and a bit of a bad thing. It's a two-sided coin. The only reason
Is
that
it
we wouldn't see them is being out on the fourth ring.
Quick question.
Yeah.
As opposed to what kind of coin?
At which point, and you see as Jules proceeds to pat around his coat, and you actually see him produce a molded together, essentially looks as if it's 3 discs that have been welded together at the sides, to sort of form almost a triangular coin.
That's not a coin. That's a blunt caltrop.
I oh, I, they, they, they accepted it for currency the last time
All right. Look, if they take blunt caltrops, it's good. It's good.
I think it had to be specific to this. Have any of you ever been to Mechanus?
No?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. It's a fascinating place.
I
And
really want to believe you.
he proceeds to just sort of stare at the coin and get very lost in it.
I've given this poor man an existential crisis.
This poor man, that doesn't exactly take a lot. Z-Man. As you sleep, you are beset with a most unusual dream. You find yourself drifting along in the sea, just floating as if riding the waves, when you hear a sound in the distance. It's almost a whisper, almost a scream, and the one thing you're pretty sure of is that it's a voice. You sit up quickly, and you look to your side, and you see a massive ball of flame, a roiling nova, and you know it to be a star. You have studied them, you know what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
But as you watch, you see, just at the corner of your vision, it almost hurts to stare at the star, but you've spent your life doing it, and you know that you know how to look without becoming overwhelmed by it. But as set against it, you see a few dark spots. And so you float closer. And you see a sight that has recently become somewhat familiar to you. You see the streamlined, finned, metallic sheen orange ship that pursued you a couple of days ago.
Oh.
And you watch as the panels at the front of the ship, layer by layer, slot over each other and slide back as if the metallic carapace is pulling away. And watching from the side, you watch as at the heart of the star, a swirling vortex winds together, and the flames bend out and pull towards the ship. Though not every flame.
So it's not pulling a full Starkiller base, it's just pulling a bunch of plasma from the surface of the star.
You watch as just the orange flames pull away and are drawn into the heart of the ship. And as it does so, the yellow twists and bends and starts to eject inward.
Interesting.
And you watch and you hear once again as the star whines and gyres and slams in on itself. And with one last seething burst, the star collapses.
All right, take back what I said. They fully just ate the star, or what they could of it, and then it collapsed on itself.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that is good. Rolled a natural 19, and with perception, that is a 22.
You watch as the collapse is happening, one of the flaming bands flings itself away from the sun, and a lump of plasmic energy hurtles off into the night.
All right.
And with it, the dream fades.
Okay.
Lunch continues on. It is delicious. You get the impression that Cookie knows what he's doing.
I would hope so.
And the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Well, we're still stuck on this ship in the middle of the astral sea, so
Correct.
my options are limited.
I mean, what would you like to do?
Well, let's see. Well, I know exactly what my character would want to do here. I know 100% what Micah wants to do, and that's no longer be sober. Because sobriety fucking blows. Now, Dustin, I believe you said I'd have to tell you specifically if I ate one of the mushrooms that grows on me.
You sure would.
Interesting. I'm gonna look for whoever's driving the boat.
The captain is already no.
The captain's not necessarily driving the boat.
When you go upstairs, Callie and the captain are reviewing star charts in the navigation room. But you actually do see a well-built dwarven woman with long red braided hair, who is manning the wheel.
Hey, Capitano.
Yes.
Are we gonna be stopping to go refill our various stores anytime soon? Or am I gonna have to make my own fun?
Well, we have to first solve where we are, though a resupply is certainly very high on my list of interests.
Okay. Would a point of reference help us figure out where we are?
Well, so far we have at least 2 points of reference, so now I need a third known one in order to help position us.
Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna point to the asshole star.
Mm-hmm.
The star that's a dick is that way, like exactly that way. I could probably point it out if we went outside. So I think we can probably triangulate that with that, right? Third point.
That That would be our second point. We can see the Dark Quarter from right where we are.
Okay, then I'm out of ideas.
I like how no one in the crew seems to have any idea of what to do with you guys.
Well, I'm
Mostly Mike.
considering I'm not a navigator and I have no ranks in profession sailor, which I don't know is a thing in 5e.
There's background sailor. There's less so much of a profession sailor.
Yeah, I don't have that. So instead, neutral good Micah is gonna go see if anybody in the crew wants to go have a neutral good vision trip.
The what?
Look, we gotta kill time somehow.
I mean,
And if there's no booze, I'm not gonna be out here in fucking space sober like a goddamn savage.
Okay.
So
I have to know who you ask.
I'm just gonna go down to where the most people are. So I'm gonna
Just
go ahead.
ask a crowd.
Yes. Micah has 9 charisma
Oh no.
and is a feral forest man whose only experience with civilization is that's where the drugs are.
okay.
God.
But he likes to share.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go down to the to where I saw the most people, which was the mess hall.
Yep.
Fira is not following you. She's wishing you good luck and just.
And once I'm in the mess hall, I'm gonna pluck a mushroom out of my hair. Hold on. You know what? I actually have a thing for this.
Okay, because I was gonna say, as you enter the galley, there is about 5 guys sitting around one of the tables. The rest of the guys cleared out as everyone has said about whatever work it is they have to be doing for the day. But those 5 guys are sitting, and you see them dropping dice into a cup and giving it a shake and slapping it down on the table.
Dustin, do yourself a favor and take a look at the Discord chat.
Oh, I see it. I absolutely believe that's what's about to happen.
It's gonna get weird. We're gonna make this weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody who's gambling.
They all stop for a moment and they all turn.
Yes, hello. I don't know about you, but and I'm just gonna pluck a bioluminescent mushroom off of my person.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to do some really glowy hallucinogenics?
Not even beating around the bush with it.
I'm not gonna trick people. I am offering them exactly what it is that I have available.
For reference, Fira is not with him.
No, I got
She's
that.
heading back to where the bunks were.
Okay.
Oh, if nothing else, it'll be a good show.
Uh,
come on,
Try to
Zyden.
sleep more than deal with
No,
this.
come on, Zyden. Do drugs with me. It'll be fun.
you do see a sallow and sunken-cheeked man sitting at the head of the table, kind of sheepishly start to raise his hand. At which point, you see leaned over by the kitchen window. Hi, big fella. Come on over here.
I walk right over.
You're looking for a good time, huh?
I mean, yeah, yes. But are you offering that depends. Are you offering inebriants, or are you offering, or are you propositioning?
No, I'm not. It's not a any port in the storm kind of a thing. No.
Okay.
No, I meant the ingesting kind.
Yes.
Okay. If you make your way below decks. Keep heading down. And you'll find a hatch painted green when you reach the bottom floor. Head that way in about... He kind of throws a look over his shoulder. 45... give me an hour. Give me an hour. I gotta get through all of the lunch dishes. But head that way in about an hour. And
All right. This mysterious drug dealing sailor seems legit. Zyden, are you sure you don't want to come along?
Zyden is still very much passed out.
I'm literally sleeping in the bunk right now. I'm nowhere near this.
It was just you and me, buddy, and now I'm gone.
Adafira. Oh, nope. All right, fine. Be boring.
You have been on your own.
Okay. So, Michael, we'll come back to you here in a minute. Fira, you started to head back to the bunks.
Yes,
Okay.
because she's a party person.
So you leave Micah and you head back downstairs, and you do see that a few more guys have sacked out in the swinging hammocks. You hear light snoring. Evidently, only half the crew had work to get back to. The rest of them have decided after lunch a nap is appropriate.
Nap sounds good.
And you re-enter the forward cabin just in time for Zyden to go.
Oh,
You all right there?
yep. Yeah, I'm... time is it?
Past lunch.
Oh, shit. I think I needed that nap.
You think?
Yeah. Well, all evidence points to that fact.
I mean, it's been a long... However long it's been since we actually got abducted here. It's a long go of it.
Yeah. Well, it may be past lunchtime, but food sounds good. If it's still up.
I am not quite sure if it is, but I can show you where it was.
All right.
Just make sure you don't keel over again.
Oh, I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But before we go, when you saw that tentacle guy,
Yes?
did he ever give you a name?
For himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't remember, I know you went through an ordeal.
No, he didn't give me any specific name.
All right.
Assumptions and everything, but it's nothing to go on.
What do you mean, assumptions?
You noticed the journal I was reading in the library, right?
Yeah, you were completely enthralled.
Yes. Well, Carol mentioned something about an entity known as the Sisters.
Okay.
And it may have something to do with that. But it's a long shot to make a connection.
Okay. Interesting.
Any particular reason you ask?
Just curious. My family had me dabble in learning about all these kinds of things. Just curiosities.
Interesting. Well, curiosity is a virtue, so don't never be afraid to admit that you're merely curious.
Okay.
They say it killed the cat, but I say satisfaction brought it back.
She
So
rolls
what have
her
you been up
eyes.
to since I've been out and you've been up? Other than
We got food, and I believe Micah's trying to get the crew high off of his mushrooms, but
he's doing what now?
yep. Yep.
Oh.
So pretty
I-
sure we'll find him when we get back to the mess hall. I didn't want to see what was going to happen, but I guess I'm going to have no choice here.
I'll be honest. I'm curious. Let's go.
All right. And she just leads him off into back to the
mess.
So now,
yeah.
Micah, what are you doing? He had said give him an hour because he's got to do the, galley dishes.
I'm a head on down to where he said. I'm gonna head down there.
Okay. So you actually go past the first deck, down to the second deck, where the ladder stairs proceed to run out. But you did this once before with Callie, and you cut across to the hallway that runs along the port side of the ship, and you proceed to follow it back, where you then proceed to hit a spiraling metallic staircase.
And the guy said to go down the staircase, right?
Yeah, he said to go all the way to the bottom deck.
I'm gonna do that then.
Okay.
I have no reason not to believe the man who's going to be so nice as to give me some drugs.
You pass two closed doors, which you saw briefly on your last time down here, and then the open hallway, which you know if you follow it back the 30 or so feet, opens up into the engine chamber where you slotted the canister before. You proceed down the staircase and find yourself on a open. It terminates in a open deck on the bottom floor that is stacked up with a central row and two outer rows of strapped down crates and barrels.
Alrighty. I'll just keep going until I find that hatch.
Okay. It's not terribly difficult. The floor is set with very faintly white glowing sconces, clearly enchanted rocks of some kind that give a faint glow to the lower level.
Sconces. All right.
But by that light, you're able to actually make your way down the right-hand aisle, and you see set in the back corner of this deck is said green. It's actually, as you get to it, you find that it is a metallic hatch, and it is a dark green with small bits of gold painted in sort of almost haphazard hatching across the dark green field, but it's very pleasant to the eye. It has almost a rolling look to the gold inlays.
I'm just gonna get comfy, I think. Yeah, like, I don't really have a reason to snoop, and I don't have a ton of else to do down here, so I'm just gonna sort of get comfy.
Fair enough. So Fira and Zyden,
Mm-hmm.
you arrive in the galley,
Mm-hmm.
and you look around and you see 5 gentlemen, or actually it's 3 gentlemen, a lady, and one who you can't particularly tell. And you hear the distinct sounds of splashing water and some deep, throaty singing from the kitchen.
Okay.
But you see no sign of Micah.
Hmm. Well, he was here.
Do we recognize any of the crewmates that are around here?
Uh, Actually, you do. You do recognize Zeke amongst the guys gambling at the table.
Ah, hard to miss the rabbit folk. Not type of person I'm used to seeing.
His his ears are tucked back, and he clearly looks nonplussed about uh, what is currently going on.
Ah,
Well, there was. I'm sorry. I'm here, but I'm not here. Was there still food left? Did we see it? Do we smell it?
You kind of set about to the rest of the ship while the general lunch service was still going on. It still smells of cooked meats and fried potato.
Okay.
You'd have to go back to the, there is a kitchen window if you want to inquire.
So head over to the window and.
yep, same.
You get close enough to see that, of course, the throaty singing is coming from Cookie, but despite his large bellowing form, as you get closer, you notice that Magnus is singing a lovely accompaniment with him, and the two of them are just kind of jamming out while they are passing. Magnus is doing the washing, or rather, Cookie's doing the washing, and Magnus is giving it a nice solid drying before he's getting them all stacked up across the back of the counter.
Hey, Cookie.
Yes. What can I do you for, young lass?
Now the member of our team's finally
Hello.
come too.
Hello, good
Aha!
friend.
Ah, yes, I suppose the captain did tell me that there was 3 of you.
We were hoping there was still some lunch left for him.
Oh, yes. Give me just a moment. And he kind
Yes,
of...
sorry I'm late. I was sleeping off my wounds.
the captain says you're carrying your own. I trust whatever you were doing for the good of the ship. It's fine by me. And he kind of goes up into a cabinet, and he produces another long hunk of sturgeon.
Mhm.
And he peels back some waxy oiled paper off of it, and he gets it to a plate, and he actually leans over and goes, "Hey, Mag, you wanna?" And you see Magnus reach out his hand, and a little bit of flame just goes.
Excellent.
And he goes over to a basket. The Cookie goes over to a basket and scoops you out some fingerlings, and comes back to the window and slides it across. And well, it's not quite so good when you heat it up, but I hope it'll at least fix you till supper.
It looks delicious. Thank you. Cookie, was it?
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much. I'm absolutely starving, and this looks fantastic.
Glad I could help.
Yeah.
you two aren't gonna come back and ask me about recreational components, are you?
Micah was back, wasn't he?
Oh,
Your tall, mushroomy friend, yes.
Where did he go?
Well, I sent him below decks. Look, you seem less the types, but I suppose if you're also looking for an experience, we're gonna finish up the dishes here in about
Shoot.
10 minutes. Bottom deck, green hatch. You can.
There's a drugstore room.
I may go down to observe, but I don't believe I'll partake.
It seems like a bad idea altogether, but alright.
Okay. If you'll excuse me, I need to get these stacked away in the cabinets, or I'm gonna have a bunch of broken dishes all over the deck.
Sorry to keep you. Take my plate and head to a table.
And Fira kind of bustles after him and just like kind of nudges him in the elbow. You know that even if you don't partake, the chances of having another vision might increase.
I mean, did they say they were smoking it?
It's Micah.
Well, he mentioned mushrooms.
It's Micah. At this point, nothing would surprise me coming from him.
That's fair. That is completely fair. Honestly, the
And who's to say that they don't have other things that could increase hallucinations? Other hallucinogenics. There we go. That's
yes, I've had enough of hallucinations and weird dreams for the time being.
so I won't say no to trying to find him and keeping him out of trouble, but it could bring more trouble than it's worth. Should we go?
Oh, did anyone say anything about where we're going next?
Something asshole star. Island. We're going to an island? Get some supplies, fuel,
Oh, that's good news. That's good news.
and then figuring it out from there.
Okay, I mean, any any point on a map on our way towards home, I guess.
Hopefully.
Mhm.
And she just kind of sits and puts her head in her hands and just like
And
zones out.
Zyden gets to eating because he is.
After several minutes, Cookie does sort of exit, and he just sort of tosses his apron up on the kitchen window and kind of gives a quick scan around and gives you both a quick nod and quickly beelines it for the door.
I think that's our cue.
He seems quite nervous about all that, but in my view, it's just a bit of recreation. Which.
Captain probably doesn't know.
Fair point. Do you think we should follow or give him a few minutes?
I mean, it's hard to say. He seems like he means well, but he and Micah are a lot alike in that sense. So.
You know what? Let's go down there. Not yet. We'll hang out for a bit, let them start to have their fun, then go down and watch them all act like idiots.
Ooh, okay. Sounds fun. Yeah.
Okay, so Micah, you sit around for sometime.
For reference, sorry,
Well,
she'll pull out her flute and she'll just start playing around with her while she's there. I had to make sure she had a flute.
sure.
Okay.
Eventually, Micah, you hear some heavier footfalls come down the iron staircase. And a moment later, a large form sidles its way on down through the cargo. Aha! There you are.
Yeah, it's where you said to be.
Aha! Yes, well, this is a bit of my, well, not to get too fancy, but I guess some of the guys have taken to calling it my sanctum, so, he reaches down and, pretty easily, chunk, and flips the hatch open, and you immediately notice that there's actually a lot of light coming from the space beneath.
Hmm. And what exactly am I looking at here?
As I said, my sanctum, a bit of my, sorry, a bit of my home away from home. Please, after you.
All right, I'd hop on down the hatch.
Cool. So as you crawl down through the hatch, the ladder beneath lowers you, and as you crawl down for a brief moment, you're a little afraid you have fallen out of the ship. For as you immediately descend, you are suddenly surrounded by the stars of the astral sea. But as you descend, a short distance below, your feet find grass. And you see in the arched base of the ship is inset a entirely glass deck. And from bow to stern, there is a soft grassy layer with little potted plants every few feet.
I'm sorry, I see a what?
Little potted plants every few feet, and they're growing various fruits or vegetables and essentially little ceramic pots set in a little grassy field, essentially growing a couple rows of just bizarre garden entries.
This is it's a pretty nice place you got here.
I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I can see.
It's nice to get away. But you're a man with very particular tastes. You wanted a good time, yes?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, yeah.
All right, well, come with me.
All right.
And he actually walks you so the ladder's towards the stern of the ship, and he walks you up through the rows, and you see a lot of various things. You can actually see an entire vertical soil stack with the tail ends of what you would actually imagine is where those fingerlings from lunch came from. You pass another bushel, and it's growing these large, like fist-sized berries. Another one appears to be growing a sort of gold foil lily of some kind off of drooping branches. Just a wide variety of different plants, but he leads you towards the bow of the ship, and you see where all of the other entries of this garden deck are fenced off at the front. And he swings open the little gate on the fence, and set on the far side of the fence is a couple of low benches and a small table. And there is a small work table sort of set in the front curve of the ship. And there are a couple of small plants growing various things on this side of the fence. But they are shorter, and a number of them grow with darker leaves. Some appear to just be leaves and don't appear to be bearing fruit of any kind at all.
Interesting. All right, so I'm gonna just follow the guy at this point, sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop, as it were.
Please make yourself at home. And he gestures to like one of the benches by the tables.
All right, I'll sit down on a bench.
Okay. So after you sit down, he goes over to the little workbench table, and he swings open a little door on the lower side, and he sort of reaches his arm in, and he's clearly sort of fishing towards the back of this cabinet on the shelf, on the work table. Excuse me. After a moment, he clearly finds what he's groping around for, and he proceeds to come forward with a jar full of little mushroom caps soaking in some kind of green liquid.
All right. So, what you got there?
Well, this here is, it's a bit of my personal good time. And, they're called Maiden's Blush.
All right.
If you soak them, you can then drink the juice, and it'll do you right.
Sounds good. Do you mind?
No, not at all. I was simply going to ask if you wanted to try your mushrooms or mine.
I think mine might be a little intense. So let's go with yours.
Fair enough. He proceeds to just reach a short distance back into the cabinet, and he produces a couple of tin cups, and he sets them on the counter, and he carefully unscrews the lid, and he pours a bit of the green liquid into each cup, and he screws the cap back on. And he comes over and he sets it down in front of you.
Micah's going to do what Micah does, and he's going to shoot that thing back.
I'm a bit of a sipper myself, but fair enough. I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
It's all right. I'm pretty good at those. Oh, I'm going to drop the die off my desk.
Nice.
That's going to be a 15.
Okay. For a moment, so when you throw it back, you briefly taste as it washes over your tongue that it is a bittersweet taste, not unpleasant per se, but You know when you drink particularly cold ice water,
Sure.
the sort of rushing sting as it washes over?
Right, right. I get what you're saying.
It's that sort of chased a little oddly by a bit of a umami aftertaste.
Hmm.
Not
Interesting.
not unpleasant, but jarring.
Sure.
Uh, and as it sort of slides down the back of your throat, you feel as a cooling sensation extends over your neck and kind of rolls across your shoulders. And you manage to suppress a shudder, but it's definitely a cool and chilling effect. But being a man of experience and experienced in inebriation, you manage to shake off the effect.
Okay, it's pretty good. Strong. Definitely a unique flavor profile, certainly.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Maybe you want a bit more?
Yeah, more sounds good.
He goes over and he picks up the jar and he actually just brings it back to the table and he tops you up.
Mike is going to take another shot.
Give me another Constitution saving throw.
That's going to be an 18 this time.
He does not want to get fucked up.
The same chilling effect rushes over you. The shudder's a little more pronounced this time, but the tingle and the cooling sensation definitely wash over you and linger a bit longer, and you feel there's the cool sensation starting to sort of creep up the back of your neck, and you're starting to feel sort of a soothing touch, almost as if it's starting to massage your scalp.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You do notice as the sensation is setting in, that the mushrooms all along your body start to perk up.
Hmm.
They are enjoying this sensation. And you also notice that the incessant whispering voice off in the other direction
Mm-hmm.
almost appears to draw a bit further away. It's a little harder to hear.
Hmm. Hmm. That's good. That's definitely good. Here. Why don't you take this? Just for you. For some time when you're feeling like you need something a little bit more exciting. And I'm going to pluck a a particularly full looking cap and hand it to him. Now, when if you decide to have this, just make sure you don't have anything else planned for the day.
It's a bit of a ride on rapid waters.
It's a unique experience.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's holding it very gingerly. He actually stands up and with his free hand he actually crouches down at a different cabinet on the opposite side of the workbench, and he pulls a couple of things out and considers them and puts them back, and then he pulls out a small little box with a latch. and he sets it down and he flips it open, and he very carefully sets the mushroom inside, and he shuts the lid, and then he walks over to the side where he pulled the jar out of, and he proceeds to reach into the back around the same area where he obviously pulled the jar from and puts the box back there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, how long do you think it's going to take for us to figure out where we're headed?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. What I can tell you is the captain is less than pleased.
Well, as far as I can tell, we're more or less lost, so that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be the long and the short of it, and well, as it happens, the captain wanted to get this job done quick. Not to speak out of turn, but he was getting some manner of pay out of it, and I rather think he wanted whatever bit of shine was waiting at the other end of it. He was rather keen on it, and for something he was so terribly sure was just going to be a bit of a walk around the garden, as the case may be. It's rather turned into a bit of a shitstorm, really.
Yeah, that's a accurate depictor.
Well, I'll tell you, the captain's always been one for keeping our heads above water, but if you can just maybe keep this bit under your caps, as it were.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah. The sapphire is nice enough, but it ain't the captain's. It ain't the captain's heart. We're a bit afield in. We're rather riding around under the skirts of another lady's deck boards, as it were.
Okay.
And I think whatever the cap was gonna get out of this job was gonna get his own lady back under his boots.
Rough. Not ideal, but you have to understand, I'm not the most sympathetic here, considering I've been ripped into a different plane against, without really my opinion of that being taken into account.
I do know he's said as much round the first mate. He does feel quite bad about that.
Sure, but feeling bad doesn't put me back on the, prime material.
Oh, I know it. But you seem rather mad at the captain. He's doing what he can to get you home. I assure you of that.
Right, sure. And I appreciate that. But, the mistake has yet to be made up for. So,
My
I feel like some level of grumpiness is well deserved.
I don't mean to harsh your mellow friend, but my understanding is the captain's offered you rather a hefty summer coin to.
Right, and that's great, and that is definitely a step in the right direction. But again, I would not be having this entire conversation if I had not gotten sucked up in a whole bunch of, collateral planetary fourth dimensional fuckery. I appreciate that they're doing what they can to get their shit together. But I'm not super jazzed about all of this.
I'm sure the captain doesn't want you to be jazzed. I'm sure he understands. Believe me, other men who have been rather quite as salty as you are. He's upended them over the side of the rail. In your case, I think he rather understands that you're very much in the right. But what is it that he could do to set it right more than he has?
I mean, I feel like you and I already know the answer to that question.
I mean, aside from getting you home, which I know is his ultimate goal.
It's gonna take a while. Outside of that, I don't have an easy answer for you there, bud. Sometimes things don't have easy solutions.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, I rarely am.
But I think I have an easier solution in the shorthand. And he unscrews the lid and refills your cup.
That certainly helps. And he's gonna take another drink.
Fantastic. Make another Constitution saving throw.
Roll. 16. I can do math.
Okay.
I can do math. I know what 13 plus 3 is.
This time around, the sensation washes over you and you can't hold it back. You very much shiver as the chill runs across your body, and it creeps like fingers up your head, and it then proceeds to feel as if it lays soft hands over the top of your skull. And the area around you starts to look fuzzy. And with the star field in a, 360 pattern around you, as you turn your head left and right, they sort of swim a bit and streak by as you turn and look. And as you sit and listen, for all the other things that you hear, you also hear
something funny.
It must be taking effect then.
Alright. So the what's that about then?
Well, depending on who you ask, they say that the maiden's blush is only followed because the maiden went sneaking about where she shouldn't. And if you have enough of it, you can start to hear her. Well, that's what they say anyway.
Alright, cool. I suppose Micah, being the addict that he is gonna take another shot.
Okay. Give me another Constitution saving throw. This time at disadvantage.
Ooh, all right.
Oh dear.
Well,
It's coming.
I rolled the same number twice, and that number is 5.
Oh!
Oh my.
Okay. Yeah. The fuzziness sets in, and some of it starts to turn into real spots. And you hear some more of the giggling skitter away past you and behind you. And you kind of turn back to look just instinctually because you hear the sound. And as you turn back the other way, you feel a pair of hands on your shoulders. And at first it makes you nervous, but then something important jumps out at you. As soon as the hands were placed there, the whispering stopped. Didn't just get further away, stopped.
I'm gonna look over my shoulders, see if I can see anything.
You see a red-cloaked female figure very close by your cheek.
Hello?
The light bearer is looking for a key. I'm here. But your other friend, dangerous. Very dangerous.
The bard. Okay. And you would be who exactly?
Trapped at the moment. You cannot let the captain take me where he's taking me.
Okay. And you would be who? I'm not seeing you on the boat outside of this moment.
I'm kept in the captain's personal chambers.
Okay.
He won't take his eyes off of me. But you must find a way to get me free.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're not just sort of a person sitting in the captain's quarters whom the captain is staring at, and that stretch of the imagination here, you're some kind of object, right, that I'm looking for. So how would I identify you upon seeing you? What's the key identifying factor here that I might be able to pick you out?
I think maybe I've reached out to the wrong one.
Maybe.
You've already seen me once. We were in that bar together.
Oh, wait.
At which point her head snaps around and looks at some inaudible sound, and she lets go of your shoulders and vanishes.
Was she just the woman from the bar that they abducted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't getting that immediately.
Oh, yes, the red cloak and the blonde hair.
Okay.
Very much her.
Okay, yeah. Then I had I realized that, I would have had that conversation a little bit differently. I thought this was just like a mysterious cloaked apparition.
In all fairness, having a bit of a intoxicated moment, it would take you
that's
a moment
fair.
to come around to what that is. So
Okay. Sure. No problem. No problem.
You doing okay there, friend? Who you talking to?
A manifestation of my own insecurities.
Yes, been there a few times myself. I understand. We're gonna jump over Fira and Zyden. What are you doing?
Playing music.
You did say that, didn't you?
I did.
Give me a performance check.
16.
Okay, you certainly know your way around a flute.
I fucking hope so.
What kind of are you playing a jig, a dirge? What do you
Just starts
Yes,
fooling
play
around.
us all a nice jaunty dirge on the flute, the famous dirge instrument.
I bet it could be done. 5 minutes on YouTube will turn me a result.
That sounds like playing taps on the flute. Doesn't
Oh,
make sense.
Jesus.
I want to be a bard who just plays the most impractical to move instrument. Like a bard that plays nothing but the glass harmonica.
The bard with the kettle drum.
I actually
The
I got
PVC
a
instrument.
melodica because there was one game where I was going to play a bard that played the melodica and I wanted to learn it because it was an in-person game, and then the game never took off, and it was probably because I told them I bought a melodica.
All joking aside, I really want to learn how to play the hurdy-gurdy.
You don't even bring up the hurdy-gurdy.
Agreed.
But
I actually looked
I
up
agree.
But hurdy-gurdies cost like
$1,000.
$1,300.
Yeah. I actually looked that up recently because I was also interested in playing it. I think I shared a YouTube video or something on Facebook.
Okay, but anyway, you jam out on your flute. Some of the guys sitting there playing their dice game actually pause and actually just turn with a lot of rapt intention. Magnus even comes out from his kitchenly duties and just kind of leans back against the door frame and gives you a listen for a bit. You come to the end of the number and there's actually woo! Yeah!
Oh. Hi. Okay.
That was very nice. I
Um,
love that tune.
I just play. I don't. None of the things that I play are truly songs in their own right. I play what I feel.
Improvisation. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. It's the only way I was able to play when I was younger. So I never really got the chance to study. So I just rolled with the punches and just did what I could, and it happens.
I'm definitely now assuming that number you just did was a very jazz flute.
Yas flute.
Das Flute.
Yes, flute.
Das Flute.
Zyden suddenly chokes on one of those fish bones and has a very bad day.
I turned the cough into a laugh because I'm enjoying myself.
Good.
Performance complete, what do you do?
I'd say it's a fair enough time that we go find out what's going on. They had enough of a head start, wouldn't you say?
Sure, why not? let's take our leave to find our wayward furbolg.
Mm-hmm.
I take my dirty dishes up to the counter where we got them from.
Magnus will take them from you when you deliver them back.
Excellent. And then we head off in the direction that Cookie told us to go.
Yep.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
15.
Oh, 22.
Ooh.
Yeah. You got his directions of bottom deck and green hatch. So you go down to 2 decks to the second layer down. You cut across to a side hallway. And tracking that hallway to the back, or to the front rather, there is a spiral staircase that runs its way down. You pass 2 closed doors, a open-ended hallway with some kind of humming coming from it, and the stairs continue the rest of the way down to an open landing with crates and barrels.
Well, this looks about right, I think. Continue on down.
Okay. You cut across, and you do see that same green inlay hatch at the back.
You did say it was under the hatch, right?
Sounded like it. So,
All right.
let's go for it.
All right. I'll go and open the hatch, or
Yep. She'll go ahead. She'll open the hatch.
Give me a strength check.
Wait. 12.
Okay. It's a heavy honking thing, but
Nice.
you manage to, get your fingers underneath it.
yeah. If I saw her struggling, I would have gone to help.
No.
But
You managed to pry the hatch back and lift it open.
Excellent. I'm gonna go down.
Okay. As you heard me describe before, there's a 360 view of the astral sea around you. And there is a grassy floor to the deck, and you see all kinds of potted plants. Do you descend?
Yes.
As you're going down the ladder, you do see Cookie sort of struggle up from his bench and give a bit of a hazy walk, and he swings the gate open, and he kind of looks back at you, Micah, and is like, your friends said they wanted to come along.
There you are, Micah.
At least
You enjoying yourself over here with Master Cookie?
Oh, I'm having a great time. I'm having just an absolutely lovely experience. Just truly could not ask for a better chef.
Okay.
Cookie, his big, yak folk snout sort of cracks into a wide smile.
Aw. Yay.
Wait. Is he yak folk or ox folk? Because he said ox the first time.
There is a yak folk race, as far as I know. There's not an official ox folk race, so we're gonna. I apologize if I said ox before. I meant yak folk.
Nope, it's fine. Just
Fucking racist.
You don't know what his past was like. Maybe his family's screwed up, man.
You you two decide you wanted a good time as well?
To be honest,
I would suggest it. It's a very good time.
I was mostly curious on how it was affecting you two before I decided.
Well,
It's affecting you well, or
yep.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Do I look like someone who knows how to count?
I loved the how many fingers am I holding up, he says on a voice call.
That was the point.
valid response then.
That's about what I expected. If I may ask, what exactly are you partaking of?
It's your stuff, Cookie. Why don't you fill him in?
Well, your folks, the musicians, well, a musician, is the other one. He seems a little on the up and up.
Hmm?
You,
Me?
you gonna run and tell the XO about what's going on down here?
Farrah looks right. I called it.
No, they're cool.
Oh, no, I have no intention of tattling on you if this is unapproved. I'm merely here out of curiosity.
All right, come on. And he walks you back into his little fenced-in garden patio, and he offers you seats at the benches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So unless you're planning to eat mushrooms off of your friend there, well, we have a bit of this. It's Maiden's Blush. And he holds up the jar and kind of gives it a little bit of shake. There's only about half of it left.
Have I heard of it before?
Same question.
Give me a nature check.
Nature.
Most complete use of. Oh boy.
It sounds completely
Nat 20.
harmless. Nat 1.
Oh!
Fiora, not a clue. It sure does sound like a mushroom. Zyden, you being the astute and well-read man that you are, you know that Maiden's Blush is a very uncommon fungal species that only grows in secluded mountain valleys in a particular section of the prime material, where the region that it was in, as far as you have read, is rumored to be an area where a castle disappeared one day into a dense fog. All that remained afterwards was a peaty bog where these mushrooms started to grow.
Oh.
And the associated myths that you read with them was that the Maiden's Blush had to do with the young princess of this kingdom, and that you actually had there was a anthology of different iterations of this. You're nat 20. You got a whole lot about it. There's a version that says she deeply offended her father because she fell in love with a young rogue. Some say that her blush was because of her love with this young rogue, that it was more a sheepish and innocent thing. Some say that the blush is not actually the maiden's. It's called the maiden's blush because what the maiden was doing makes others blush. Specifically, there are versions of it in which the things she practices were much, much darker. But each tale ends very much the same way, that the mists were a punishment upon her that took her away. And that as you look at the mushroom caps, there are these long, very stringy, thin caps at the end. And the way that the story goes is that they're actually strands of her hair that were left behind.
Interesting. Oh, so that's what you're doing. I've heard of this mushroom before.
Hmm?
In fact, quite a few stories about it. Very strange stories. I do not believe I will partake of this concoction you have here. Thank you for the offer, though. It's quite interesting to even see that breed of mushroom. Well, anywhere.
Isn't it?
It only comes from one place in the prime material plane.
Oh.
Very secluded valley that used to hold a castle that disappeared right before these mushrooms started appearing.
I think that's sort of what the trader I got him from said.
Ah.
I see. Yeah, there's a lot of stories behind of just how these mushrooms came to be some sort of curse on the princess of the disappeared castle.
Fira, you want some?
I think I'm gonna pass because if it's some hocus pocus kind of stuff going on, that I'm good. I'm good.
I don't know anything about all that, but I know that it'll give you the chills and you'll sleep right at night.
Yeah, don't mind them. They're a little straight laced.
Hey,
I mean, there's always the mushrooms he's offering.
There's straight-laced and there's knowledgeable, Micah.
there's straight laced and there's cautious about my health.
I mean, I drink it. It doesn't seem to be doing anything to me.
Which,
How long have you been drinking it for, though?
I mean, a couple of years.
That would probably be why.
tolerance is indeed a thing. But I was curious merely to see how this would be affecting you two. Or, in this case, I guess Micah. How is it actually making you feel? Because you seem a bit.
It's good. I don't know what you want from me. I've had a.
I was about to say you
they're
seem a bit
mushrooms.
steady, but
It's
that's
my
not-
wheelhouse.
That's not wrong, but
Well, I have to say this is a lovely greenhouse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I have something that I think you might be quite keen on.
Oh.
Yeah, over here. And he actually takes you to the other side of the fenced-in area.
Mm-hmm.
And he crouches down, and he plucks a little glassy blue berry. Like, it looks like fauceted sides of a crystal, if not for the fact that he plucked it from a leafy end.
I'm sorry, did you say fauceted?
Yeah.
I think you mean
As in
facet.
it's
Faceted?
got like a lot of
Yeah.
faucets?
All right, everybody back up off of my pronunciation, all right?
It's really rare that we get to make fun of your pronunciation. So
Yes, it is.
So, let us.
It is faceted.
there
you
we go. Proud of you.
You, I think you might get a bit of a go out of this one.
Would I know what this is looking at it?
Give me another nature check.
I'm also gonna make a nature check if that's cool to see what it is.
That's
Because I get good those.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I got a 17.
There we go.
But are you inebriated?
Sorry?
Is he incapacitated in any sense?
Actually, that's a fair point. I would say you have to roll a disadvantage.
Well, that time I only got a 16.
Okay.
You, Mikey, you have heard of these things. Although I don't know that you've ever seen them, given the places that you have been. They're known as luma berries. You've heard of them. They are often grown at wizards' colleges. They do not typically grow in the wild.
Interesting. That's a very. Do I know what it does or what its properties are, or just where it is generally found?
Just sort of where you find it, and you know that it is used as a reagent in spells, but what it does in and of its own right, you don't know offhand.
Okay. That's an interesting thing you got there.
Yeah.
What is it? Don't believe I've seen this before.
This here, it's a luma berry.
Interesting. What is it for?
Well,
Or is it merely a nice snack?
it's a nice snack.
You might actually have some other use for that. It's usually found in wizard colleges. It's not really something that grows in the wild. I've heard it used as a like a component.
Oh, interesting.
So
Oh,
being the more arcane of us.
well, I will surely take some if you're offering.
Well, I was offering you this one to give it a taste.
You know what? Why not?
Hmm.
Doesn't seem like he only has. It seems like he has a supply of them, right?
He plucked it from a bushel of it behind him.
Yeah. So
Give
it's
me an investigation check.
all right. That is a 15.
Yeah. As you look at from that to the bushel behind him, you notice that he does have a supply of them. You do notice that the bushel grows in sort of not so much pods, but the flowering appears to be a bit nested and rounded off in. The bush is a complete piece, but it sort of has bulbous sections, and in those sections at their little ends, the berries are each a little bit different in color, and they each look like little crystalline gems. The one he's plucked looks a bit like sapphire. Another one of the little bushelets looks like rubies. Another section looks like little crystalline topaz. There's a section that looks like emeralds.
Interesting. They all look like different sorts of gems. Do they have different uses depending on the color, different flavors?
I mean, not not a significant difference as far as I know. From the ones I've tasted, the flavor's all the same.
Interesting.
It's more of a aesthetic thing.
Well, sure. I'll try one. Thank you very much. I'll take the proffered berry and I think I'll sniff it first before I taste it.
It smells sweet.
Huh. Yeah, I'll pop it in.
Okay. As you swallow it, it tastes delightful. It has a rich, almost like, just almost a sickly sweet taste to it. It's almost a little overwhelming, but it's enjoyable. And you think, gosh, that was a tasty berry.
That was a tasty burger.
Micah and Fira, you watch as Zyden's skin proceeds to turn a vibrant blue.
Oh man.
Violet!
Yeah, how you doing, Violet Beauregard?
As he turns and looks at you, you also see where typically he has yellow pupilless eyes.
My eyes are red.
What?
My eyes are red.
Oh, I thought you told me they were pupilless.
Well, they are. No, you told me they're pupilless because I'm an Asimar. But
Oh, they're red.
the color is red. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I have red eyes and red hair that is tipped with gold.
That's right. I apologize. But they're typically red.
Oh.
At the moment when he turns, the glow is very distinctly blue.
Neat.
Ah, dear Lord, what did we get into?
What? What's wrong?
Or more to the point, the blue glow, I imagine, is actually coming from behind the sunglasses.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I wasn't wearing them. They're like hanging on my clothes at the moment.
And you wouldn't have put them on when you came onto the sun deck?
Is it bright down there?
You are surrounded by the stars. It's as bright as it is on deck.
I figured that was not really that bright if the stars are far off, but yeah. No, it's just hanging from
Fair enough.
the top of my.
Well, his
on
eyes
my
are glowing. And you see this, like, shit-eating grin on Cookie's face.
I like cooking. I'm a fan of cooking.
Cookie,
Hold on.
What did you do?
I offered a man a snack.
All right, so that is a 14 in perception. Do I notice that I have turned blue?
Yeah, I mean, eventually you hold your hands up in front of your face and you are
Oh.
immediately struck by the fact that your hand is blue.
Oh, that's oh. Well, at least it tasted nice.
I'm sure
But
the
really-
effects aren't permanent.
I hope for not.
Cookie,
Nah.
around how long does this usually last?
Usually, I mean, it depends on how many you eat over time, but from about the last time you eat one of them, about an hour.
Well, that's not too bad. I'd honestly rather this to.
Now, that is, of course, a standard Planner C hour, which is equivalent to about 7 or 8 years.
Micah, I trust you when you say you don't know numbers.
Oh dear Lord, why?
Vera, can I get you something?
No, I'm very not interested in sparkling for the rest of the night, so let's not say we did, shall we?
I mean, I have options that don't make you sparkle.
Somehow I don't believe that.
I don't know if I'm sparkling, perhaps. That may just be the eyes. The glow is natural.
Yeah, that's all you, friend. It typically just changes people's color.
Well, I've often said that I find you positively glowing.
Although, hold on a second. As your skin does change color, you notice that the constant presence that you feel nearby, just out of sight at the corner of your vision,
Mm-hmm.
disappears, and you feel a smaller presence off to your other side.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Uh, am I hearing this with my ears or my mind?
You're definitely hearing this in the same way that you hear the other voice.
All right, so I think in that direction. Hello? Who's this?
Is someone there?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Who is this?
I can feel you moving over there. Please. If you can hear me, please help me. Please.
You can feel me moving, but you can't hear me?
Hello?
I make a waving motion. Kind of subtle.
You can hear me.
I make a subtle nod.
I need you two to make perception checks.
Oh dear Lord. Oh,
Mikey,
oh,
yours is at
I have a
disadvantage.
+6,
Right.
so 11.
That's going to be a 15 total. I got a +7 to perception checks. It's wisdom, and I'm proficient in it, and I have a 20 wisdom. I get a +7 in perception checks.
Fair enough. Zyden, give me a sleight of hand.
Oh, yeah, that's a 20. A soft 20.
Okay. Then never mind. They didn't
notice
They
anything.
didn't notice nothing. But you continue to hear. Please. Find my brother. Tell him. No matter what the sisters told him, I'm still out here. Please, tell him to find me.
Interesting. I don't know if you can hear me, but do you have a name? Thinking this again in the same way.
Yeah, the voice, you just hear it descend into sobbing. It does not respond.
Okay. And she was talking about her brother?
Uh-huh.
I think? Okay. All right. Sounds like that's all I'm going to get out of that.
Come on, Fee. Live a little.
I I don't know.
Wait, here, Bree, what is Adafira currently wearing?
Khakis? No. What is she wearing? A really good question. And I
Like-
honestly,
Like what color scheme?
like just neutrals.
So like browns and blacks, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, browns. She has like almost black hair, green eyes. So she's like really pale. So she's wearing like the browns, the darker tan kind of a color, a little hint of red, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I think I
mean-
know what you're about to do, but I'm very curious.
I mean,
Okay.
Fira, if you'd like to try one, I'd recommend the green.
Oh, it's not what I was expecting. Fair enough.
The green?
Yes, I think would go very nice with your eyes. It is quite sweet, to be honest.
She's very, very skeptical. And she didn't
It's fine.
invest.
It's fine if you don't want to.
I got other options. Like I said, I got things that don't make your skin go all wibbly.
See, when you put it like that, I really don't want to trust anything in this room.
I mean,
Have I ever steered you wrong?
Yes.
Name one time. Name literally one time.
Flaming sphere.
The flaming sphere that killed the fucking tentacle?
That almost killed Zyden.
You can't prove that.
I was there.
hey, it looks
So
fine
was
to me.
Yeah, that's...
Note the word almost.
Sure seems to me like the flaming sphere saved Zyden.
I was there.
Yeah. And, Zyden would have been dead if the tentacle hadn't died.
I mean, you may have all been there. You're also all here.
You're welcome, by the way, Zyden.
Thank you.
No.
I don't think I had thanked both of you for bringing me back here after that ordeal. So thank you both.
Don't thank me. Thank the flaming sphere.
Sure.
I'm gonna continually pass. I don't. It's not sitting well with me here, boys.
All right.
That's fair. To each their own.
That's your prerogative.
Oh well, I mean, if it ain't sitting well, I have some options for that too.
No.
Admittedly, that one sounds more like medicine.
Are you telling me you don't want space Pepto-Bismol?
I think I'm okay.
Alright, fair enough.
But I thank you.
Well, if you two are going to at least enjoy the treats, I'm gonna get on with the other part of what I usually do when I come down here.
Should I leave or?
No. He had the same question. No. He walks back to the workbench and he flips open a little box on the top, and he produces a little metallic square.
Okay.
He comes back to the bench with his little metal square.
Mm. Is he playing the harmonica?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Now that may be more up your alley.
That is more up my alley. That is for damn sure.
Oh yes. Cookie, you were down here, but Kira here was playing her flute earlier.
Well, if he's going to break out his harmonica, I'm going to break out my glass harmonica.
It's an harmonica.
Oh, right.
Oh my.
That feels aggressively unnecessary.
Only mildly aggressively.
Yeah, so he pulls it away and goes, well, if you haven't wet your whistle quite enough, I could always use a partner for a duet.
Alright. She's gonna pull out her flute and let's see what happens. Ooh. 21 on a performance check.
Yeah, you guys proceed to get just serenaded as these two just go at it.
Zyden is just smiling and just enjoying the music. He's always been appreciative of the arts in general.
It is a little tough for you to necessarily focus because while everybody's getting serenaded, yours is a little undercut by the sobbing in the background.
Oh shit, I'm still hearing her?
Oh yeah. You can shoot me a message if you need to ask me something.
Okay.
After a bit, Cookie actually stops and pours himself another drink and lets you just go for a few minutes.
Okay. Well, she's in her happy place. She's just going.
Fair enough.
That's her kind of...
Cookie is very settled in and quite content, so I mean he'll let this just go for a while unless any of you does something or.
She's gonna keep going. Until someone else stops her, but...
About an hour passes. And gradually you watch as Zyden's skin fades back to its appropriate color and his eyes return to normal color.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so as your skin fades back to the other color, gradually the sobbing fades away. And eventually, a small voice creeps up into your ear, a familiar voice, and just says, "Where were you?"
Is this Alistar's voice?
Yeah.
Okay. You couldn't see me?
Not for some time.
Interesting. I tried one of those berries. It turned me blue. And I started hearing this woman crying, and she was begging to be saved and to let her brother know that she's still out there.
Did she give any indication as to who her brother was?
Not even to who she was. She said something about the sisters.
Sisters.
Yeah. I don't quite know what they had to do with her situation, though. Maybe they kidnapped her? I don't know.
If she was taken prisoner by the sisters, she is in grave danger.
Oh, she sounded like she was in danger. But not like present physical danger, more like waiting. As
Yes, well, when they finally come round to her, I wish her a most hasty death.
Not an escape? Just a death? Or do you not think escape is possible?
If they are that deep, if she is that deep in their clutches, there is little that can be hoped for on the outside. Liberation of the soul is the only true escape by then, and even that would be a masterful liberation.
Understood. I know of the type of situation of which you speak. I only wish I had more indication as to who she was, who this brother was. There was no visual, like I can see you sometimes. It was just a voice in my head. She couldn't hear me respond either, but she could see me move
She could see you.
or sense me. I don't really know, but I moved and she could tell that I did.
Our light is shared through the bond. That is how we may talk. But to see you, she would have to. I must think on this.
Please do. I'm quite concerned. But it does seem to have happened only when I consumed that berry. And as you can... I don't know if you can tell, but my skin is turning back to normal now, so the effects are wearing off.
I would be very careful what you do with those berries.
It was kind of a prank. I think Cookie, the cook here, only thinks that they change someone's skin color. There's probably a lot more to do with them, but he wasn't knowledgeable of it.
Well, prank or not, I had tried calling for you for an hour.
Is something amiss, or were you merely concerned that our connection...
I simply tried to reach out, and the connection felt dull and distant.
Interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
Very well.
And probably won't be trying one again. Well, friends, it seems my skin is turning back to its normal color.
She stops playing. She looks at him. Good.
I don't know. I think the blue suited you.
I much prefer the red.
You want to give the green a shot?
No, I think I'm good for now.
All right.
I may take a few of those berries, though. They seem to have very interesting properties. A bit of study might be good. If you don't mind, of course.
Well, no, but if you're gonna take a bunch of my goods,
Oh, it wasn't going to be much. Maybe one of each color, that sort of thing.
well, that's still 7 berries.
That's fair.
There's a price for such things.
How much would you like?
Well, it's more of a you do me a favor, and I'll consider this a favor. You're the away team, right?
Yes, I believe so at this point.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Here we go.
Well, I'm not much for the stabby pokey of it all, so I
Neither
try
am I.
my
Neither am I.
Right. Well,
Yes.
I don't really try to get off the ship very much.
Mm.
But if you're going to be exploring areas that we haven't been to, if you see interesting plants, my garden could use some new additions.
Sure.
Ah. Yes, I'd certainly be up for that.
Then, yeah, okay. You can help yourself.
Thank you very much.
If you take one of each, you get. All right. You get. So you can mark these down as different gem fruit. They're known as luma berries, and they're just different species of luma berries. You get a ruby luma berry. You get a garnet luma berry. You get a topaz luma berry. You get an emerald luma berry. You get a sapphire luma berry. You get you get a azurite luma berry.
How is that spelled?
Azurite.
You are okay. Got it.
You get an amethyst luma berry.
Excellent.
You got so many berries.
You got 7.
Yay!
You have so many berries.
And needless to be said, you need to keep that list in a. You need to maintain that list because I need to know what you're eating.
Right. Yep. Now I've written them all down.
Cool. Unless you're feeling adventurous and want to try something else, maybe we should head back up on deck.
Certain.
Right, yeah, I'd say let's go back.
Yeah. All right. Gonna get up and start heading back up. Thank Cookie for his time and all that, but I think
Yeah.
he's coming with us. So
Micah, give me another Constitution check.
At disadvantage, I imagine?
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. The swimming fuzziness kind of takes itself over, and it's pretty hard to stand up.
Interesting.
It was a slow burn, but you are quite intoxicated.
Yeah, right there, the big log?
Better than when I showed up.
Alright.
Just, just give me a minute. I'll get there. Sometimes these things just, it take a little while.
Mm-hmm.
would you like some water?
Yeah, water would be great.
Hand Micah my water skin. I assume I have.
Sure.
Yeah. I do, in fact.
So as you head back and you hit the ladder, and Thera and Zyden, you make your way on up. Micah, I need an athletics check.
Awesome.
At disadvantage.
Fair. Give me a second. I'm just checking something real quick, like. Okay. Just give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking something about druids real quick. Okay. That's going to be a 9.
Okay. You go a few rungs up the ladder, and you try to reach for the next one, but you don't quite judge the distance, and you're just kind of swiping, and then your foot kind of slips, and you drop back down to the grass.
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's try this again.
You go for the ladder again.
Yeah.
It is another athletics check with disadvantage.
That is going to be a 1, but not a natural 1.
Okay.
Wait.
I rolled a 2, and I have a -1 to strength.
This time you go up just the one rung, and your feet just kind of slip, and you pretty gracefully, make it look not terribly ungraceful, but you just kind of sit down on the bottom rung.
Have we gone up already, or are we waiting for him to go
Yeah, you're
first?
watching this down through the hatch.
You okay down there, buddy?
I mean, I've been worse. I've been better, but I've been worse.
Fira, remember when I said that it would be interesting to come down here to watch them act like idiots while I'm
This is
good?
what you were talking about, wasn't it?
This is exactly what I was talking about.
You know what? I think I might have an idea here. Hold on a second. And he walks back to his fenced-in area, and
Oh no.
he goes over to another small bush. You can't see him that well from the other side of the garden, but he plucks something, and he walks back with a little almost bean-looking thing, except that it's wide on either end and then comes to sort of a narrow point where it connects the two.
Does it look like an hourglass?
Essentially.
Hmm.
But it has very much a brown texture with little, blue veiny bits. You might want to give this one a shot.
Okay, I take the thing.
Cool. So you pop it and you chew it, and it has a very earthy texture. But at the same time as you chew it, you ever get a particularly you ever put particularly strong Altoids in your mouth, and you get sort of that not quite burning, but very cooling sensation through your sinuses?
Yeah.
That happens at the same time as your palate tastes deeply earthy. There's this
Interesting.
chill rushing through your sinuses, and as you swallow, for a moment nothing appears to happen, and then you start to drift upward.
Oh,
All right. This is a new sensation.
And you are suddenly quite weightless.
Huh.
is that
What?
an edible levitate spell?
You're a man with a good eye. And he
Oh.
proceeds to pull Micah sort of by the collar and then sort of guides him up as he climbs up the ladder with the other hand.
I have bad news, everyone. This is now the only way I will accept to travel.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Good luck with that, Micah.
You're gonna be real unimpressed with it in a little bit.
It doesn't stop, does it?
Not quite.
Oh?
So something tells me that when he drops, he will also drop. If that makes sense.
Did he shit himself? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
It goes a bit quicker than that, but I like where your head's at. That's actually I got some down here that actually work that way, but
Oh, dear Lord.
anyway. So he pushes Micah up through the hatch, and you're now in the crate and barrel storage space.
I always knew this quest would end in a crate and barrel.
The first time I described the deck, I desperately tried not to make that joke.
I don't think I actually get that joke.
There's a store called Crate and Barrel.
Oh.
Yeah, it just sells like home good types. It's like a Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh.
It's like a Bed Bath & Beyond where you can spend $300 buying an artisanal stump.
Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, if it's a crate and barrel out in the astral sea, it might as well be a Bed Bath and Beyond.
I'm so mad.
No,
right now.
I'm literally not even exaggerating. Here's a $360 stump from Crate and Barrel.
Yeah, you have that saved.
I don't. I'm just very good at Googling.
Oh my god, what?
I've seen that stump in person. It's just as dumb then.
I'm
$450.
I'm excellent at the internet is the moral of that story.
Okay.
Okay, so Cookie pushes you along, and you hit the long spiral stairs all the way on up. When you get back to the racks of hammocks and whatnot, he stops pushing you. Friend, until that wears off, I probably wouldn't go up on deck.
Good call.
Right, that's fair.
And you know what? If we're gonna leave you here, I should probably. He turns you around and he pushes you into your bunk cabin. And he kind of just floats you over your bunk. You're probably not gonna want to go much further than right here.
I'm okay with this.
I thought you might be. If you'll excuse me, I gotta go put dinner on. And
Okay.
he turns and exits. Fira and Zyden, where are you headed?
Up on deck, I think.
Sure.
Fair enough.
What's going on?
You two think you can stay out of trouble?
I would hope so.
Fantastic. Then I'm gonna go get dinner ready, as the case may be.
Talk to you later, Cookie.
Talk
Have
to you
fun.
later. And he sidles off on into the kitchen.
I like that, chef.
Agreed.
As you two are standing around on the deck, Callie actually sees you. She's standing up towards the bow with the captain. Boy, you two.
Hi.
She waves you over, and the captain turns back as you arrive. Yes, Fira, Zyden. So, as my first mate was mentioning, we did locate an island that we think could have the fuel we need to accommodate more jumps.
That's excellent news.
It is, but I find myself with concerns.
Define your concern.
He proceeds to reach into one of the deep pockets of his coat, and he actually extracts a scroll of parchment that you actually recognize, Zyden. It's the star chart you located before the last wild jump.
Right.
Hmm.
So, near as I can tell, the tower that we've located is actually marked right here.
Okay.
And as he unfurls it, he points to the draconic claw that was on the star map.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Trying to remember when I picked the direction. It was somewhere between the claw and something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one was a depiction of a flame.
Right. And I had said like 10 degrees, so that would be 10 degrees off from the claw, which would explain why we're that close to it.
I'd have to go back and check, but I think you said like 15 off from the claw, but yeah, it's semantically different.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and I also recall that those symbols meant nothing to me at the time.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. I recall that chart. Do you know what it might be based on that?
No, as I said, I won it off of that man Chromat years and years ago.
Right. So then why is it a concern?
Well, even for a madman, madmen don't just go around marking dragon's claws on things for no significant reason.
Well, if they're that mad, then she probably just like shuts up.
Well, that is a good point of as any. Are you afraid there may be a dragon at this tower? To put things in as literal terms as I can say.
I mean, that would seem to be on the worst of the case scenarios.
Well,
But-
that's fair.
But I don't know.
On the chart, is it in color?
You rolled pretty well on it last time. The claw is not. The flame in the other direction is marked in a different gold tinted ink.
Interesting. Well, Captain, if you're so worried about this island, do you think we have another choice?
Not particularly.
That's what I thought.
Yes, it's
Well-
I'm more simply letting you know where the winds are taking us more than anything. It seems unfair to deposit you without you at least knowing the dangers.
Much appreciated. We will certainly be on our guard, especially after last time.
Yes, and as I said, as I may have mentioned, I'm quite glad you all returned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I did find out what that mansion was.
Oh?
Yes. I don't know when last you were on the prime material plane, but what do you know of events that happened around the I'm trying to find something here. Okay, I didn't write that part down. I know that this is out of character now. I know that Kara was involved. He was a very powerful mage, but what organization was he involved with? So I remember you saying something about that.
He was working for the sisters and trying to accomplish
No,
what he
no,
was.
no, not that organization. I mean, in like the politics of the prime material plane.
Oh, I don't know that I went heavily into that. I can.
It was something like he was on his way to becoming an archmage.
Well, he was for the government of the area, and then they found out that he was getting up to darker magics, and they cast him out.
Ah. Then in that case, the question would be, what area was it? Well, about 30 years ago, a man by the name of Dakon Caro was on his way to becoming an archmage and was found to be doing some quite illegal things, some concerning necromancy, which I know that isn't illegal everywhere, but it was where he was. And something happened, and he cast some sort of large-scale planar shifting spell, which took the entirety of his manor, along with him, his family, and their guests, out here into the astral sea, where they, from what we could tell, mostly died.
Mostly.
Well, his butler is a ghoul. Very nice fellow.
You made
Still-
friends with a ghoul.
Apparently so.
I wouldn't really say friends, but he was a very polite butler.
Okay.
Yes, we had quite an interesting experience down there. He was also the one who directed us towards the Starlight Wood.
Well, he must have been a nice enough fellow then.
We didn't explore the mansion to its fullest, but I believe he said he was still tending to Mr. Caro, though he was unable to leave his bedroom.
Well, I can't speak to what specifically any of that means, but you were probably wise not to come face to face with an archmage, most especially one that has somehow confined himself.
Hmm.
Himself or his spirit, really not sure. It was kind of iffy.
Well, either way, archmages aren't known to be of cheery temperament at the best of times. At least.
Yeah, especially since I did
Except
end
for
up.
maybe Griswold, but he was a heck of a man. But yes.
Yes, well, Carol was getting into some nasty shit, so probably for the best that he's confined out here.
Yes, fair enough, and it probably would have ended with more scars on your body if you had tried to tangle with him.
Yes.
Anyway, with regards to how he came to be out here, yes, mages and their demi-plane creations are how many islands in the Astral Sea are made.
Oh, interesting. Makes sense.
It is not by any means an easy art, and it takes rather exceptional talent for such things, but you can assume that a mage or a demi-deity or some magically rending force is oft behind many of the small planes out here.
Interesting. Well, about how far off are we from this next island?
Well, come the morrow, I believe the seating should be done. Hi, Cat. We're making our best time we can. Well, I suspect it would take us till around the eve tide would probably be about when we would make the shallows round the island.
Well, that sounds good.
That's nice. It's not bad.
As this conversation is going on, you do suddenly feel the whole ship go.
Maybe that's bad.
And wave ever so slightly, like you roll in the water, in the air quotes around water.
Fantastic.
Was that supposed to happen?
You watch as Callie proceeds to give a big whistle and. Hi! Testations!
Oh boy.
At which point, Cookie hurries out of the galley doors and looks and goes, XO, that one was me. that was my bad. Nothing to worry about. You notice Callie give him kind of a scowl, but she does like a twirl of her fingers, and the rest of the crew just kind of chills out a bit. Micah.
That's me.
About 10 minutes after you chewed that berry, there's a sensation not unakin to a bubble popping. And you suddenly slam into your bunk.
Slam into my what?
Bunk.
Mm.
Heavily and unceremoniously, and as you slam down, the whole boat rocks slightly under the weight of it.
That's hefty.
Yeah, and you actually notice that at this point, your entire body is hefty.
Mm.
You cannot lift your limbs or particularly move in any significant fashion.
Well, this isn't the first time that I've been rendered incapacitated by heavy drug use. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap.
Yeah, that's fair. So Fira and Zyden, you are outside. The ship has rolled and everybody's kind of calming the hell back down. You lot have been unfairly thrust into this situation.
That's an understatement.
I wanted to say thank you again for all of your help.
You're most welcome.
Suppose it hasn't been all bad.
It's honestly been quite interesting so far. I've learned quite a bit.
Knowledge warms some. I hope that it is satisfying to you, but do be careful. There's something to be said for a lesson to be taken from. What'd you say his name was? Caro?
Yes.
He was a man chasing knowledge as well. Don't forget caution in your pursuits.
I never do.
Very good. The XO's shown you to your cabin. If there's anything else that we can do to make your stay more comfortable.
Thank you. Truly appreciate it.
We don't have much, but what we can do, we shall. If you'll excuse me, I have other work to see to. And he walks off for the navigation room.
All right.
It's just about midnight.
Well, yes, I was trying to get to the. If you guys don't have anything else, I would say we can finish seating and have you guys sort of
Eating
sail
dinner?
your way towards the island.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that plan.
Fantastic. Then that seems like a good place to call it.
I mean, considering I'm unconscious, yeah.
We have to end the game with someone unconscious now, don't we?
I mean, I don't know that it needs to be every session, but
I mean, that's the trend right now, so...
fair. That's fair.
It's fine. It'll be your turn next.
Alright. Worst things have happened to my character in a session.